Hi, my name is Maria Brooks. I am a spiritual teacher and a holy shaman, and have been consciously for more than 30 years. I never set out to be either of these things. The journey just unfolded, and it unfolded because I embarked on a journey of self-help. My own light was going out, I was very miserable, and the question on my lips was, who am I and what am I? I just felt that there had to be more than this. I always prayed going to bed, and so I suppose when I look back now, I must have asked for some help and got my answer. Hello, my name is Maria Brooks. My angelic name is Sola Angelica. There are a great number of people struggling at the moment. The expression, the dark night of the soul, is floating around. The trouble is, this dark night of the soul is not just one night. It can be many months, a year or two. It's something that we are all going to have to face if we are going to survive and have peace in our hearts. One of the things that we need to do to help us, to help ourselves, is to learn to tame the mind. The mind has become the most dominant aspect of ourselves. Truly, it should be our heart and our higher self that guides us, that gut feeling. But for so many of us, the mind has taken over. Sometimes it feels almost as if you've got three heads going on in there. There's the mind, natter, nagging you on one side. There's you in there, that's this hurt being, trying to be who you want to be, but totally controlled by the mind. And then there's like a third head inside that knows the truth of who you are, wanting to support you, and really always guiding you with the best intentions. It will not trick you. The mind will trick you, but the higher self won't. So if you take a look at yourself within those three heads, you can begin to see if you're acting through fear or acting in love. If you're acting from the guidance of your higher self, you will feel comfortable, you will feel relieved, you will feel joyful. But if you're acting through fear, which is the conditioning of your mind, it will not support you, and you will feel more and more depleted. So it's about taming that mind. And a very quick and easy way is to recognize when the mind is nagging you. And so you say, okay, you've talked to me for months on end here, and nothing's helped. So I'm going to listen to you for half a day. And then after a few days, think, no, half a day and I still haven't achieved what I want. So you say to it, just like a naughty child, well, I'll listen to you for 2 hours, and then 1 hour, and then an hour. You have to do it gradually so that it can be achievable. And then one of these days, you'll say to the mind, well, I was listening to you for a quarter of an hour yesterday, and you still haven't helped me to achieve what I want. And then one day you'll say, do I really want to listen to this argument anymore? And you'll say to the mind, I am not listening to that anymore. And it may even be that, just like a naughty child, but. And you have to be the firm parent, and you say, no. And one day you'll wake up and you'll think, my God, that particular voice on that particular subject has stopped. And you will have tamed the mind. You'll have something else to work on, but at least you've made a start. I have 2 affirmations that were given to me because I was in this very predicament. And the first affirmation was to help to draw the angelic qualities to the fore. And this, in the middle, it is, I am where I've been, I am where I'm going, I am at the here and now. At the time, I didn't understand what those words meant, but they are very, very, very powerful. Do not underestimate them. I am where I've been helps you to let go of the past in this life and the past in past lives. I am where I'm going stops you worrying about the future. I am at the here and now eventually brings you into the moment, to that place of being where peace reigns completely. So this is the affirmation, and I hope it will help you. I am love, I am peace. I am wisdom, I am truth, I am power. I am where I've been, I am where I'm going, I am at the here and now. All that I am is love, tenderness and truth. I am that I am. I am here, Lord. Lord, I am. And I always say this in multiples of 3. It will truly help you to pull your thoughts into a place where you are the one in control. And there's a second affirmation that was given to me later. The first helped me to begin to love myself again, to begin to fall in love with myself. The second was then to move me into the higher mind. I am energizing in the spiritual energies of Christ, formulating thoughts of the highest levels. As my mind expands with purity of thought, my mind and my emotions quiet, and I become thee. I am gracious in mind, body, thought, and deed. So be it. It is done. And again, I always say these in multiples of 3. And I can hear my own voice now. I can hear the power of those words bringing me down into a point of gentleness. And the more you practice these, the more this will do the same for you. Thank you for coming into our home. It would be wonderful to meet you, and perhaps we'll meet at a retreat or classes. I didn't know that the journey would go on for 30 years and still going on. And I didn't know that this journey would take me through the Kabbalah. When I first started working with angels, you know, we had no idea what the heck was going on. We just had to trust and be guided by them. So the video that was created in 2008 is some of that guidance that the angels gave us to help tame our minds. But in this video, I want to just add a little bit to show how the angels started to work with us, and also perhaps why. And I thought I would actually read some little extracts from my book, Hello Mum, Are You in Heaven Yet?, which is really this journey with angels. So right back in 1991, I suppose, round about then, I met a group and I actually began to work with angels. So let me see. So in the beginning, these early meetings were fascinating, and we talked with a being known as Sanat Kumara. He told us that he was responsible for the planet Earth. He tried to explain that negative thoughts were outweighing positive ones, and this could not be allowed to continue unchecked. The world was on the move towards a different dimension, and that if we were to survive, we would need to evolve and resonate with the new levels of energy. He explained that at that moment, most human beings functioned in the third dimension. Many were changing their thought forms and going into the fourth dimension. All in this group are already vibrating as fourth dimensional bodies of light. Some amongst you have already begun the process necessary to shepherd their thoughts and begin the journey into the energy of the fifth dimension. One amongst you will become a master, our cosmic entity said to us on one occasion. That person will be able to look into the eyes of another, and they will know. I remember saying to myself, that sounds rather good. I hope it's me. Little did I know what that would mean. I don't think any of us understood what was implicated. On another occasion, Archangel Michael explained that there were 4 main portals that separated their world from ours. He told us that once upon a time, spiritual people on earth had guarded those portals, protecting the world from exterior dangers. As humans no longer considered that necessary, the portals had eventually been left unguarded. Negative energies had entered the world and influenced our thoughts. Now it had become necessary for the portals to be guarded on the other side. This time, the heavenly dimensions needed to protect themselves from the negativity of the earth. Now it was Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Uriel whose protection was given at those golden gates. They shared with us how not only were we evolving, but also the vibration of the planet itself was changing. And unfortunately, there would be consequences. Archangel Gabriel told us that there were going to be floods, gales, tidal waves, typhoons, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions, fires, disasters, wars, and all manner of things. We were told that there would be many lost souls during this journey into what would become known as the New Age. Sanat Kumara told us that there would be many people who would hear the word, but there would also be those who chose to ignore it. He told us that we were not to feel responsible for those who chose not to hear, and he assured us that while ever there was even one lost soul, he would remain to oversee their rescue. He told us that there would be a request for volunteers to stay and help the ascension of those souls. I remember thinking, please don't ask me, I haven't got what it takes anymore. And I meant it. They told us that we would be travelling to a new dimension and we would require a different form if we were to survive. We would have a different body. This had alarmed me somewhat. I didn't understand that they meant an energy body of light as opposed to a heavy one. I didn't understand then that our true form is one of light. When is all this going to happen? I had asked, feeling somewhat apprehensive. You can count the years in tens, was the reply. One particular evening we had an amazing experience. We were sat in a circle, holding hands as usual, to go into meditation. We were asked if we were willing to give our permission for the angels to join our small group consciousness with all the other groups in the world who were working like we were at that particular moment. We had agreed without understanding what any of it meant. Instead of our small group pillar of light, we suddenly found ourselves forming a colossal pillar. It truly was awesome. And then I could hear a voice calling, "Come into the light, come into the light." I tried to place myself in the light, but still the voice kept calling, "Come into the light." I didn't understand what I was meant to do. I thought the instructions were for me. And suddenly from behind me I heard a rustling sound and my body was pushed forward. Or rather, something appeared to be going through me. The next moment, there was what felt like a stampede of something pushing urgently into the tube of light. We each of us held on tightly to each other, and then just as suddenly it stopped. When we came out of meditation, we discussed the sameness of our experience and the meaning of it. We suddenly realized that the day was Armistice Day, the 11th of November. The angels had created a beam of light so powerful that it had given the opportunity for a passageway into heaven. And what we had felt was the lost souls departing from their darkness into the light. For one reason or another, they had missed their opportunity for salvation. Because of the circumstances of that particular day, many people were praying in some form or another, and the angels had taken the huge opportunity to use the collective consciousness of love and the power of prayer to provide the opportunity Because of the circumstances of that particular day, many people were praying in some form or another. The angels had taken the huge opportunity to use the collective consciousness of love and the power of prayer to provide the opportunity for freedom to those souls who had found themselves or chosen to remain in a kind of no man's land. Some of them would have perhaps even been in purgatory. The huge capacity for ways in which we can work with angels was unfolding. They told me, on a different occasion, they told me that I would learn the keys of Enoch. None of us could throw any light on who Enoch was. I saw mathematical shapes and patterns. I didn't comprehend it then, but what they were showing me was sacred geometry. This was when it got altogether too hard for me, and I told them because they asked. One evening's instruction was particularly hard for me to comprehend, and I was very confused. Our angelic teachers seemed to be talking about three Marys. It was connected with Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Mary Magdalene. but I couldn't place the information or make the third Mary fit in with my present knowledge. Somehow they equated me with this group. I just thought that they must mean that my name, Maria, was a derivative of Mary, and so in that way we had the same name. This was early days in my training. In time, I would come to understand and accept that if I didn't catch on with one style of teaching, they would inevitably try another. However, at this moment in time, I thought I was just taking part in something that interested me. I was blissfully unaware of the journey ahead and that there was real meaning behind these strange and unusual procedures. So it was with idle curiosity that I later voiced my lack of understanding to the group to see if they had fared any better than I had. I just want to add a story here to show perhaps what an ascended master is capable of. Jesus is the prime example of an ascended master. He had complete control of his mind, and he could perform miracles. Today they would be known as instant manifestations, but he used a part of himself when he was performing these miracles. And I just want to try and show what that part is. And this opportunity, he was here to show us what our journey would become. And I'm just going to try and explain an aspect of that. So part of my work many years ago was, first of all, to take the group I was working with into the 5-pointed star, which is here. Then as the weeks went by, we worked with the 6-pointed star, which is in the heart center. Then the time came when we joined the lower self with the higher self, the 5-pointed star and the 6-pointed star. Now, when this was created on one particular night, the group was shown this star formation, and in the center was a golden cube, and they were invited to step into the cube, and this is where the magic happens. And once they were all inside their own cube, I said, now we're going to go to work, and you're all going to be as shamans, and you will have this experience of being able to be in another place while you're still here. So with that, we were off and we went to Haiti. There had been a natural disaster and healing work needed to take place. So as we arrived, I said to the group, do your own healing, whatever comes naturally, do your healing for this this place. And that's what we did. And once the healing had taken place, I returned them all back into my lounge and back into their bodies. When I went, they were terribly excited by this, of course. And when I went to bed, I said to my partner then, Mark, I said, you know, I do all these lovely, exciting things with the group, and you know, I miss out on this amazing experience. So I went to sleep. And the next thing I know, I am levitating off the bed, and I am in this gigantic star formation, absolutely incredible. And I was inside this giant golden cube, and it was like, there, you asked to see it, what do you think? I was so excited at the magic of this. And I was calling Mark. I didn't do anything with it. I wanted Mark to see where I was, but he was fast asleep, and I was calling him, but he didn't hear me. And I'm here in this beautiful formation, and eventually I get Mark's attention, and he starts to wake up, and he just sort of says, "What?" And then the energy was gone, and I just came back onto the bed. But you know, I've had lots of experiences like this. Sometimes you only have to see it once to really know what you're doing and to trust. And perhaps I'll just say one other simple thing. When I was just starting out as a healer, and I was in my healing room, and it was growing dark, and I was giving healing, and in this dim light I could see rods of golden light pouring out of my hands, and I watched as these rods were slicing through the molecules of this person's body and giving healing. Okay, are we ready? I have an Etsy store. At the moment,
Thank you for watching first.
Oh.
Something nice to
them. Okay. Okay. Thank you for watching and listening. And I hope my words have reached you at a deeper level than perhaps your thoughts were allowing you before.
Repeat that.
What?
Let's repeat that.
Okay.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video.
Okay.
If you are interested in more of stories that were happening or that I've taken towards ascension, you can read them in my book, Hello Mom, Are You in Heaven Yet? That's available on my Etsy store as well as on my website where I post stories.
Okay.
Like that.
Thank you for watching. I hope to publish more stories to enhance the understanding of this journey on my website. You can find more details at the bottom of this presentation. If you're interested in learning how I developed in the first place into a holy shaman, I have a book on my Etsy store, Hello Mom, Are You in Heaven Yet?